a second. I have something here just to keep the picture straight. Give me a second, guys. I haven't done this in a minute, so I'm moving my setup around a little bit. All right. All right. Feel free to chat amongst yourselves. We'll get going in a minute. I know this is mountain time right now, so I know if you're on the West Coast, it's 3:30. Right now it is 4:30 here in Arizona. So, hey, that's where I am. All right. Yeah, I know. You're gonna be seeing me go live a lot now, and you're gonna get the story why and why in a minute. So, all right. Yeah, we're getting back on the schedule here, and it's kind of not not the ideal way to do it. So yeah, these are the new vacation tins. I was at Target today, and I saw all three of them, but I bought a couple of these guys because he looks cool, and I'm gonna have redoing some of my display stuff. I finally get to see you live. I'm happy, lol. All right, so that's awesome. It's good to see some people in here, and we're gonna do some sketching. So, all right, I'm gonna start off by speaking on a couple things. All right, like number one, me and Tops are on good terms. But you might have noticed since around vacation, this set here, this set which has proven to be the bane of my life. That I haven't really been doing a ton of lives and everything. I've been working on a lot of sets, but I haven't been offering those cards because I've had this fear, an unfortunate fear that came true. So when vacation came out, I'd, filled up my commission list, sent my returns to Tops. And then COVID happened, and then all this shit. So this set was supposed to come out like a year and a half ago. And I sent my stuff to Tops. A lot of the other artists kept the cards. So what happened was, this set was coming out. I kept messaging people at Tops. Where's my returns at? Where's my returns at? Where's my returns at? And then finally got an email. And the email was, Dear Victor, we're so sorry, but in between moving warehouse facilities, your GPK vacation returns were destroyed. Hear that again. Your GPK return sketches were destroyed. And I had filled out all my commission slots for that set. So what ends up happening is, I contacted pretty much everyone who got a return from me. Hopefully I got everyone. And what I'm doing is I'm using my returns from other sets to fill those destroyed slots because I can't really refund that money. And thankfully, most everyone was cool. So you're going to see me seeing work on all those sketches on these streams, which I'm going to go back to regularly now so that I can, kind of build up my rep again from being sort of MIA, and so everyone can see my art again. Oh, yeah, I got completely fucked. Like, literally, if I had to refund everyone, it would have been like $2,000, and that was before I raised my prices, because my returns now cost $100 more than I was charging back then. So I'm actually losing money too, but this is what's happening. So I'm, understanding I'm a stand-up guy. I kind of had, hey, what's up, Paul? So what's gonna happen is I'm gonna do everyone's returns that I had to have to redo here on the stream, so everyone can get something cool out of this. The little, you see me drawing it live, And I'm gonna do one for Paul today, or at least start because I'm gonna take my time on these. And I'm gonna do a New Orleans themed drunk hen for him, and I think I'm also gonna do a slasher asher. I think I'm looking it up right here because I'm gonna do everybody's on the stream because I want this to be cool and fair to everybody. It's just like fucked up. So yeah, slasher asher. So that'll be cool. And then once I get through them, I'm gonna work in some regular sketches too. Um, Funny enough, there's a good chance I might go to New Orleans in like 3 weeks because there's this film festival my girlfriend wants to go to, and it's like she wants to go the last week of March. So there's probably like a 90% chance I'm going to be in New Orleans in like 3 weeks. So there we go. All right, I just got to look up plane tickets actually. It's like the way the world works. Yeah, totally. And hey, yeah, you'll have your sketches by then. Talk about like small timing. Hey Bobby, what's going on, man? I know. But yeah, that's what's been up. Like Tops fucked me. I tried for like months to get my returns back. I kept hearing, "Oh, you didn't even send your regular sketches back." I'm like, "Bro, no, I did because you have them. I have like the receipts." So, yeah. So, that's some people in the GPK groups know this, but I'm making it public now. Yeah, Tops destroyed all my returns for vacation. Rihanna says, friend of mine told me to watch your videos. I'm a fan of GPK and the cool art. I'm not gonna, but I can't fault, whatever. I mean, Tops got bought in between and after COVID. So I should, you just never know that these things are gonna happen. And in the end, that's kind of what happens that like, shit got lost. I should have like trusted my gut and not sent my returns back. But you know what? You never know what's going to happen. And I learned my lesson. And for the next retail set, Tops is going to give me double returns, which is good because I'm sure the next retail set is going to be something decent. So I'm not going to trip out over it too much. So, and I had planned to do this last week, but I got sick and I have like all these events I'm working on over here. So it's like bad timing. So. All right, I got visuals over here now. I was setting up my visuals on the side, so that's why you're looking at the tin, so you're not looking at a blank piece of thing. And I wanted to explain what was going on. So that's what's going on. Short and steady. I'll probably end up saying this a few times during the stream. Is that my returns for vacation were destroyed. I talked to everybody. I think who got a return from me, and we've worked it out to mostly to some degree. There's a couple people that are, trying to figure out what they want, and we'll see what happens. All I can say is I've tried to be as like transparent about this as possible. And like, I mean, Tops even sent me a wacky invite today, which they hadn't sent me one in a minute. I'm like, I'll think about it. But today we're gonna do some sketching. I haven't done some sketching in a hot minute. Like literally, I'm like, I've been so busy working on stuff. This is the first time I've drawn anything. I think in like 3 or 4 weeks. Anything. So give me some slack. If it doesn't look, I mean, I think I'm pretty good. I don't know. I've been having a little existential shit over this whole thing. So all I can do is try to be as confident as I can in my pencil work as possible. The last set I did just to tell you guys, like I scramble sometimes doing this stuff. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Like, dude, like the last two sets for Tops, I haven't even done pencils. Literally, it's just been like straight marker to card. Like, I've been, and I did videos for like my vacation cards and the last couple sets, and I haven't posted them on the YouTube channel. I'll probably post the vacation ones when this feels a little bit less traumatic. Excuse me. Like I said, I'm still getting over a cold. Thankfully, I don't have COVID. Had that, done that, took the t-shirt, but you know, I took some Sudafed earlier, so I'm gonna be blowing my nose a little bit. So I apologize for that, you guys. In case you're wondering, this video is brought to you by Path Water. It's good. It's a big aluminum can. All right, so trying to get some light in here. Yeah, so in case you're wondering from my setup, I have a camera, an old iPhone camera right here, and I have another one on the side right here. So that way, you know, I'm getting full exposure. You got kind of like the GPK, you know, ellipsis. In case you're wondering, I'm going to do a teachy one because I'm going to start doing like time-lapse videos on here because I'm trying to grow the channel again. All right, so here's a few things I'll tell you about Slasher Asher. I don't like this ear, this weird big ear that doesn't match other GPK characters cards. And the other thing I don't like about him is his hat's kind of a weird shape. I haven't drawn this character a lot because those are a couple of things. But other than that, I always think this is one of the really fun like ideas from the first, you know, the 80s Garbage Pail Kids, you know, because it's like, it's such a like, it's like a thing a kid would come up with, you know. It's like Freddy Krueger picking his nose with his with his claws, you know. It's like, it's weird that like for the brief period that GPK did Marvel parodies, they never did this with Wolverine, and that like shocks me to this day because there's so many like obvious, like, you know, Iron Man with crash armor they did. I'm like, why wasn't there a Wolverine version of this? I know the other thing I want to do when I get a chance, probably not today, but maybe I'll do it on Monday or something, because I'm gonna flip around the schedule. I think maybe I'll do like Monday, Wednesdays, but I'm gonna be pretty like consistent about this because I want people to know what day they can tune in to get their drawing looked at live. But yeah, like I want to do one with Megan ripping up, you know, like with you know, there's that Chucky card from Oh the Horrible where he has got like the ripped up like teddy bear, and I want to do one like that with Megan, but like a ripped up Chucky doll. I think that would be awesome. You know, Megan, the character that just came out, because I really like that movie. I think that would be fun. You know, considering I haven't drawn anything, I feel like in almost a month, this looks pretty good. Yeah, the last couple prints I've been working, you know, this last screen print or two I did, like, was completely digital. Not there's anything wrong with that, you know, but it's just like, there's just something more about, like, tangible, you know, being able to do things tangibly. I know. I feel like I like booked myself so busy this week and did not expect to get sick. Also, you guys, if you are enjoying the live stream, please give me a thumbs up right there, or please, you know, ask me stuff during the chat. So if you want to ask me anything, you know, about like sets or cards or anything, just feel free to ask, because, you know, I enjoy the talking because I got the whole day to myself today. So, you know, here's your chance. Be part of the solution. Bobby says great character, and he already gave the thumbs up. Yeah. So yeah, right now I'm not working on any top stuff. Like I said, they sent me an invitation to a set this morning. I am currently mulling that. Usually when I do top sets, I take the max, but I will not be doing that if I take this. How the devil am I? You know, I'm getting over a cold. Thankfully, it hit me over this past weekend. Will Topps be sending you extra trip and Pano with extra cards and etc.? I think Pano cards are done. I don't think we're gonna see Pano cards anymore. Like, they've slowly been de-emphasizing them. Yeah, I know. They're like postcards. So like they asked me if I want to do like between 40 and 70. If I did, I would probably take the minimum. But I've had like wacky blanks for like years now that I haven't even used. Um yeah, I just know the none of the online sets have panos. Question for me. I heard you do sketches for commission. I have a cool idea for a custom card. Yes, I do commissions. Probably be opening those up maybe soon, not yet. Like maybe check back with me next week. But yeah, I'll do whatever on my personal stock or blank cards. I can't do everything on official cards, and I kind of don't do political stuff that much. Um, just because I'm kind of like a public figure where I live, so I don't want like political stuff tied to my name. Um, Other than that, I'm usually open to most stuff. I know somebody else asked something. Oh yeah, we were talking about panos. So yeah, I regardless of whether when they send me the cards, I'm taking like double from what they give me. Like, like if there's like if they send me 70 and they were supposed to send me double and they're not there, I'm taking them anyway. So that's just what's happening, and I don't because I'm never sending cards back again. That ship has sailed. Like talk to them. It's like okay, cool. Like yeah, I'm never sending cards back again, no matter who the brand director is, because nothing they can say can ever you know make up for this fact. Because that's my payment. I know I posted in one of the groups and they were like, dude, you should like total. Yeah, you should take the maximum return what you don't use. Maximize your returns, right? Yeah, if it was an online GPK set, I would probably do that. But it's wackies. I mean, there's some GPK overlay, but not really that much. And you notice I'm not really trying to burn through this quickly. Like part of the thing I did with Paul was that he was gonna get a really cool slasher asher and a really detailed return. So these are gonna be detailed cards. So I'm not gonna fly through them. If you will see how much I do in the time frame, but I am not trying to get through them on the stream. It's more like I'm gonna draw them really cool, and you guys can talk to me while I do it. Because that's the best way to work through this scenario, I think. Um, yeah, I'm not trying to jip anybody. It's like these are gonna be really nice cards, like you know. Because usually, here's the thing, guys. Like usually, when I do like the online sets, I'm actually just doing sketch cards. Like I'm sketching them out. They're in black and white. Retail sets tend to get really nice color cards for me. But then the thing is, this last couple sets, the amount of detail people are putting into pack inserts is getting a little ridiculous. So I'm just like, you know what? Need to remind people, that I do really good work. But I mean, I'm not gonna start putting like 24 karat gold on my cards. I'm like, dude, it's a bit much for me. But I can give you a rad sketch. I think the glitter cards look cool too. Don't get me wrong. I'm a working artist. Like literally, this is what I do for a living. I have no other day job, so it's like kind of like I have to make sure everybody gets cool stuff. Then I can't make them like as mega as possible, but I can make them mega as in really dope. So here we go. All right. Let's make this ear bigger here. Paul says, I have to say Victor has been good with working out for me with this whole vacation return situation. Hasn't been ideal for anyone, but he did offer a lot of options for the top mess up. Yeah. And again, I'm really like sorry about this whole thing. I'm still like, I feel like I'm still in shock over it because like it really hasn't like, you think at some point it would hit me like how stupid and fucked up this whole thing is. I feel like it has, but not like, as much as like I would. Maybe I'm just getting more mature at dealing with disappointment. I don't know. It's a little crazy. I'm like, okay, I need to find solutions. So all I can say is I'm glad I haven't offered, fucking commissions since vacation, so I have the backups, even though I am like losing on the potential revenue of those. But am I really? Because I mean, they say they're gonna give me more, so, and I haven't used them. It's just one of those things where I'm like, just be thankful for having had a backup plan. That's kind of what I'm telling myself right now. You had a backup plan, and it felt insane for a while. I was like, dude, I'm like, just have all this income. I'm glad I finally made a live stream. Normally I find out later. Finally. Well, you have. I mean, and that's the thing. I haven't done one for a while because, yeah, I've been going through this, like, I don't know, like, I felt like, like my stuff hasn't felt that solid, or I don't know. Sometimes people go, when you're an artist or whatever, and you do a lot of stuff for commerce, you kind of start to second guess yourself for a minute. I feel like I was going through that phase. um I was telling my girlfriend, like, dude, like, I don't feel like I'm been very creative, and usually I'm much happier when I'm doing art and stuff. So part of it is like I needed to do this, get back on the horse of doing art regularly, so I could feel better about myself, And this is the plan, is to get back on that horse. So here we are. All right, let's start doing some coloring here. Again, one of the aspects of the Victor style is I don't ink till I'm done coloring. And some people are like, that's so strange. Oh, thank you. And it's like, to me, it's like, I feel like inking is the last thing, because I kind of take a painter vibe to these things. I mean, even if this was like a graffiti thing, it would sort of be like that, I think. So I'm using these things. They're called chart pack markers, and this is aquamarine because if you look at the original card, and you notice I didn't line it up there because I'm gonna fix some things when I ink this. There's like a blue, like kind of cast, a blue highlight. I'm gonna play that up a little bit. Let's see here. And then we'll take this one. This is sapphire blue. And then we're going to hit it with that again. I used ink on a live mic and realized my mistake, so no more ink until I've done a load of stuff. Yeah, if you're doing a character that has a lot of light, like colors like yellow and all that, don't hit it with dark colors until you're almost done, because it'll smear, and the markers and stuff will pick up that those dark colors and make it grimier than you want it to be. Old school Victor. We have the trap music on in the background. Some people have asked me before that, what's up with the weird music in the background? It's like, I'm just trying to play shit that I won't get hit with copyright for streaming. It's basically, kind of background noise, but I like it. That's why I don't play regular music when I stream, because otherwise YouTube will hit the lives with copyright strikes. You know, and I don't want to play classical music either, obviously. All right. All right. There's going to be a lightning blast right here, so I'm just going to start laying the thing for that. So you're already kind of noticing it's developing a little bit. Dark colors are like seasoning on food. You can always add, you can't remove. Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of a good way to look at it. Like soup, you're making a soup. You got to take, layer the flavors in the right way, or else it's going to taste weird. All right. Okay, now I'm looking at his skin and I'm trying to figure out. And somebody might be wondering, it's like, you seem to be like a little like funny about this. Like I don't really draw this guy all the time, so I don't have my full on recipe for doing him yet. And when you say, what do you mean by recipe? I'm like, well, some of these guys, you draw them enough that you like, you kind of know where, like, oh, I'm gonna need this color, this color, this color. This guy, I don't draw him enough that I have 100% recipe for him, so I'm kind of just trying stuff and seeing what I like, and maybe, but if that one, I'll find a recipe I like for him. Like I have a recipe for Atom Bomb. I can color atom bombs really quick because I know what colors I'm going to use and what order and everything. This one, he's got... The thing is, if you look at this guy, like, I don't know what kind of painting he is, if he's like an oil painting or what the deal is. Like, I know he's not acrylic, but the colors are layered almost like an oil painting. So it's kind of figuring out what is it gonna be? Is it gonna be like pink or like light brown? So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to figure out the recipe. So basically what I'm doing here is this color is called Sunset Pink. This is usually what I default use for skin tone. And what I'm doing here is I'm not like full on, like, because I don't ever do just like that, I like kind of like suggest areas, because if you look at somebody's even skin, it's white. Looking great so far. I like all your horror cards. That's why I picked him as a sketch, because I don't have any horror characters from you. Oh, okay. Oh, that's funny. Yeah. Well, you're gonna get a good one, so I think this one's coming out pretty good. All right. So this is another color I use a lot. It's called salmon. Basically, the easiest way to think of it is, and I usually don't show you guys this, but I'm doing it because, like, I usually keep this down here off the page. Is like I keep a little color swatch. Hey, what's up, Jason? And this is pretty much what the burned look on the Freddy is pink. So if we lay down this, we've laid down the base. We're gonna use this as kind of like a highlight on the skin tone, and then we're gonna do like, I think suntan and gray, and then that'll end up looking like burns. This is a brand new one. Usually I like to use ones that are a little scuffy. So we're probably gonna have to hit this with a slightly darker skin tone to get the look I'm looking for. So it's just funny, like when you do this stuff enough, you're like, oh, that's gonna look cool, but I'm gonna have to do a few layers of it, because it's just gonna look too clean. And this guy, when it dries, it's gonna look really good. And there's just a lot of shadow on this character, so that's the whole trick, is to make it look like the card. And I know there's some people who like paint, their sketch cards at this size, and I just don't think it ever looks right. It looks a little too clean. I think you can get kind of a more realistic thing using good markers. And that's not to denigrate like the fact that painting at this size is difficult, but like Nobody paints garbage final cards this size. Like, you know, if you talk to Brett or like Joe or Smokin' Joe or Jeff, they're all done at double size and shrunken down. Painting them at this size is kind of like an exercise in destroying your eyesight. So see, if you're looking now, it's starting to look like the card, right? And I haven't done any like brown or anything. That just tells you the importance of highlights. Don't ever just do solid colors. Solid colors are the enemy of nuance. Just highlight everything. Leave open areas. This is something. Oh, I know. I've seen James Warhola's um paintings in real life in Vegas. Like they're like fucking 6x6 or bigger. They're huge, you know? Oh, and I killed all my water. Just know at some point I'm gonna have to get up to get water. All right. Yeah, I know. And here's another funny thing. I have a lot of stuff from the Gross Card Con that I'm gonna do on the stream. One of the things I did is I did a couple of little jam sketch cover things with some of the other artists there, and I had them do little things, and I was gonna do them on the stream, and I've just had them sitting here. So you're gonna see me work on those once all this return shenanigans are done. So there's some stuff I did that has little touches from like who was there, like Barry and Toofy and Shane Garvey. So a couple other people. So it should be fun to see those actually see the light of day. I think Smokin' Joe and Jeff also had little pieces on them. So all right, I like how that's coming out. Like I said, guys, I'm getting over a cold, so if I sound a little iffy, that's what it is. Yeah, on top of all this, getting over a cold, my brother's like, "You sure you don't have like RSV?" I'm like, "Ha ha ha! Ha. Don't even whisper that out into the cosmos." You know, I've had enough bad stuff happen to me the last couple of years. I don't need that shit. All right. You know what's dumb is I didn't even take like I should have taken like a mint or something before I did this, so I could be a little chill. I think I'm doing all right though. Not really having any anxiety. I used to have anxiety before I did lives. I'm like, oh god, how am I gonna be interesting for like an hour? I'm like, I think I'm doing okay. You know, because it's hard. You know, I mean, like doing this and talking. It's like you're trying to do, walk and chew gum at the same time. Sometimes it's not so easy. I wish you guys could see this in real life. It's funny. It doesn't look exactly the same as it does on video. I think it looks better in real life. Sometimes I think these things, because they're alcohol based, it's almost like oil paint. Like it just looks different in person than it does because it's slightly translucent. So the colors layer on each other, and then when they dry, they also look different. You know. So if something looks good on here, it looks better in real life. At least it does to me. I think most people would agree with that, though, if they got one of my pieces. So see right here? So I'm going to do, before the brown kisses the blue, I'm going to do a slightly darker there, and it'll make it pop even more. So I'm already kind of planning things a few steps down the road, And I actually didn't mean to go in with this color, with this suntan yet. I was going to go in with this one quote unquote flesh color, but I actually think it's looking pretty good, so I still might go there, but I don't think I need to just yet. All right, I'm gonna let that breathe for a second. And you're saying, what does that mean? I'm like, You know, these alcohol markers, they're pretty lively with, you know, the distribution of liquid. So it's good to just let them breathe for a second so they don't, you know, it doesn't blend into the next color right away if you're not looking to blend specifically. That's something I've learned through just working on shit. I'm like, oh, that happens. I didn't used to do that. I noticed it more when I used to use cheaper paper stock and I would use it for like a special effect. Like, oh, check out how these opposite color wheel colors, you know, bleed into the background. And right now, I use better paper stock, so that's not really an issue. But it's something I try not to do when I'm trying to do certain things. All right, so now I'm bringing in flesh, the least politically correct color. We see a couple of people joining the chat. Feel free to say hello. So this flesh is actually less pink. It's more of like an orange almost. So you don't want to use it too much. It's basically going to be a hit for contrast in certain areas. And then I'm going to go in with a Prismacolor layer and lay in some thin dark pink lines where this flesh is. Basically, it's a reminder of things to hit later. And I don't want to take away too much white space because the contrast is what makes it work, you know? Like right now, I'm wondering if I'm taking too much, so I'm going to let that lie and probably hit that with pink in a second. It's not like I'm a good art teacher. I'm just like basically repeating the shit that I'm thinking in my head as I'm, you know, doing this. So see, the pink is a different color than the flesh. So, this is all good to know too. If you ever do like, if you ever draw like, you know, bikini girls or something, you got to learn how pinks and and powders play against each other, so you can get that like, you know, nice highlight. All right, there we go. But yeah, like I said, I am spending a little more time than I would on this usually, but like, you want it to look good, you need it to look good, you know, and that's what it is, you know. And I feel like for the most part, I've been drawing way too many atom bombs for money, so it's kind of like I need to like take my time to show like, hey, there's other fun colors out there and other fun characters, you know. That being said, there's nothing wrong with drawing atom bombs for money. I'll never understand how Atom Bomb is so popular versus any other character. Alright. Let me zoom out just so you can, like I said, if you get a little bit of perspective, this is kind of how I'm looking at it. You see there's way more detail than you see when you blow it up like this. It's like, oh shit, that's the actual card. But when you blow it up big, it's because I'm trying to do all the little detail that you wouldn't see straight up, you know? And I haven't even hit this with any blacks or grays yet. The other thing about Slasher Asher over here is he doesn't follow the GPK eye formula. Like, he doesn't have GPK eyes. He has like fucking Bugs Bunny eyes, you know? Which I think is kind of funny. And what I mean is, I think if you know what I'm talking about, they're like, you know, cartoon eyes. So it's kind of interesting, that point. All right. Oh, no, that's not how it works. I have a. This is already a dope sketch. Already is. All right. Well, thank you. I have a new. If I didn't already have a hot rod from you, that's what I would have got. Oh, I don't even like Atom Bomb commissions. Hot Rod and Boozing Bruce are my top 2 characters. Oh, that's cool. All right, so you know, We redid the office here a few months back so my girlfriend could do art in here too. And so now I have a different system for doing the markers. So now I'm pulling out these. These are Prismacolors. So things you'll notice right away that these are all basically flesh colors. So this is the darkest. Well, it's kind of like this. Let's make it accurate. So this is what I'm going to go in and do details on. And see, it's like a gradation of color. All right. So we're not going to use this or this right now. We're probably going to use these two guys right now. Maybe this guy. All right. Let's start with this guy. And usually you see me use the brush end. I'm going to use this end, which I almost never use. But I need some fine lines. And this is like probably the only chance you ever get to use this on. And in case you're wondering what this is called a nib. You basically just call them kid nibs, because like this is like, the shit you see people do for like fucking anime. Like when they do anime drawings, they use this nib. Not that there's anything wrong with drawing anime shit. It's a lot of people do good drawing anime shit. I should probably do anime shit and put it on eBay. Funny. All right. Junji Ito. I'm surprised there aren't any Junji Ito, like, Garbage Pail Kid cards yet. I'm sure there will be soon. Alright, now we're doing this guy. So, in case you're wondering what this looks like. It's more like, how would I describe this? Mustard skin. Basically, it's gonna just, it's like, give us a wash. I call it 5 o'clock shadow sometimes. It just gives us kind of a greasy brown shadow. I'm telling you, all the work on this guy is in the face. It's all in the face, like 100%. Like, it's not like this is a particularly hard character to draw. It's more just like time consuming. I think that's why a lot of people don't really draw him that much. This is what you'll realize for you guys that, do sketch cards or, want to draw sketch cards, is the eternal struggle is the characters you want to draw versus the characters you have time to draw. And there's some really showy Garbage Pail Kids characters. And you notice a lot of guys when they're in their first set doing stuff for tops, they'll draw the most elaborate GPK characters. Like, no one ever draws this guy. And then when you're struggling to hit your deadline, you're like, oh, now I know why no one ever draws this guy. And part of that is just learning, make time to do those guys every now and then, but like also do the bankable ones and do some in your sketch inserts. Because if you're always drawing weird characters, then your stuff usually ends up on eBay a lot, which can be a benefit or a curse, because then it's like, oh, your stuff's on eBay all the time. That means you're not popular or whatever. To be fair, I haven't even looked at what my shit from vacation is on eBay yet. Like, I've kind of just been avoiding a lot of that stuff because it's too fresh still. God forbid I see one of the cards I drew for return up on eBay and I'm gonna fucking lose it. I have to stay off eBay. I can't afford it. I think Juicy Jessica is one of those. That's easy. Yeah, and then the other one is don't draw characters that are too like the Game Over GPK. That's just the Pixel Kid barfing. I'm not gonna lie. There's been a couple sets where I've drawn him more than once. It's like oof. And then you feel bad because imagine somebody like spent a lot of money on a hobby set and that's what they get. I'm gonna zoom out a little bit because, like I said, you're not gonna get the full picture on some of these till I add in the grays and such. And some of the returns I'll work on this stream. I might work offline a little bit on them if they're really detail oriented. Because like I said, I don't want to short somebody. I'd rather finish it on the stream and do the hard stuff off stream. I've only seen one of your vacation returns on eBay. It's a trash can atom bomb. It's on there now. If it's an atom bomb, I bet it's going. The person's asking for stupid money for it. That seems to be like somebody pulls this atom bomb. It's like, oh my god, the lottery. I mean, to be fair, I'm pretty sure the last atom bomb I sold on Deal or No Deal, I got over $300 for. So it's like, I get it. People like that character. I did the zombie atom bomb, like when I needed to pay a bill a month or two ago on Deal or No Deal. All right. Thanks, Jason. Yeah, I'm gonna. And then Jason, I need to do a really badass zombie vampire for him too. We'll do that. Obviously, there's a few I just wouldn't attempt. I feel like I've attempted the one that I keep meaning to do at some point is that one that's like an X-ray Garbage Pail Kid and with a black background, and you see all his internal organs. I always meant to do him at some point, but like every time I run out of time. I think I did do him once, but it didn't come out the way I wanted it to. That was for like an early set that I did. All right. Those eyes are looking awesome. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, like I said, they're like Bugs Bunny eyes, I kind of think. But that's the whole thing, is to kind of just have fun with it. The other trick is to not fill in the burns with black ink. Yeah, it's a little bit more. No, I know what to do here. See, even though this has a strong nib, I still treat it like it's a brush. So I just go over it over and over. Alright, here we go. Let's do some teeth. That's the thing, like, when you're working with your hands here, you're gonna not line up everything perfectly, but the whole point is to have some fun with it. Usually I don't do this much black this early, but I just want to kind of shape a few things here. In this character, it's alright if it smears a little bit. I don't think it's going to, but I just want to get some areas well defined. Aaron Stout says, looks great. Have you seen any newer characters you really want to have a go at? It's funny. There's a character in Vacation called Farting Fiona, and it's a redheaded girl with cat eye lenses riding a Vespa, and that's basically my girlfriend to a T. Like, if you can look it up, like you find that character, it looks exactly like my girlfriend. And she was like, "Did you tell one of the guys, because I'm friends with some of the final artists, and like, did you tell them about me or something?" It's just like, I don't think so, but I'll probably end up doing a version of that character, you know, at some point, just because it's basically her. Like my girl, she's even in a scooter gang, so it's kind of fun. And she has the cat eye glasses and everything. And even the same haircut. It's really funny, actually. She was like, "Did you know about this character?" I'm like, "No, I didn't know any of the new Vacation characters." So that's kind of funny. All right, I am defining a few of these, but I'm gonna go in here with brown. And these some of the burns aren't 100% exactly like the original, but I'm not trying to slavishly copy the original either. It's kind of my take on it. Honestly, like, that's one of the things I do like about like Fanatics, is they're being a little more loose on the interpretations we can do with these, because I've seen like Meeks and some of the other guys, they're just kind of like, as long as you use a character, and the thing they told us on Wacky Packages now is we don't have to write the gag on the drawing anymore. They just kind of trust that we're doing our take on the original. So that'll make it more fun to do cards. I don't have that creativeness at the moment too far. It's actually spent ages copying every accidental line. Yeah, I used to do that. I can't anymore. It's not fun. I'm like, I don't want to be like a human copy machine. I actually talked to John Pound about this a couple of years ago. I was at San Diego Con, and I actually got to chat with him for a while. And he was telling me that like one of his regrets at the time, I think Ira Goldman from Tops was there too, was he didn't realize years later there was going to be this whole cottage industry of like having sketch artists just fucking copying the drawings exactly, because yeah, I mean, I know when I draw stuff, sometimes I'm not fucking paying attention to, like, I'm just trying to make it look cool. I'm not thinking like, geez, someday somebody's gonna have to like copy this exactly for a collector. Like, Jesus, that would suck, you know? And I'm sure that's kind of where John was coming from, so I'm kind of glad they're giving us a little more riff. And there's some people like Greg, Trece, and like fucking GPK Nick, who figured that out way earlier, and Lowell. So I'm kind of just like, you know what? I know my stuff looks like like my style hews closely to, the 80s style sheet already. Like I'm not gonna reinvent the wheel. Like my stuff, it looks like OG GPK. That's just my style, but I'm gonna do it my style, not like just copy, because the one thing I do like about my style is, like, this is slasher Asher, right? But like here's what I'll tell you. Like, you look at him close up, I feel like mine feels looser, like versus this feels kind of tight. Like it's kind of like this feel like it feels a little bit more organic to me. Like it's flowing, and this feels kind of tight. Like Uh, DK says, your style is awesome, man. At some point, let's have a sketch card of yours and you can get one of Bobby B as well. Oh, cool. And JQ says, but that's what makes it great to have a Moreno style sketch. Oh, thanks, man. But yeah, that's just what I try, is to get kind of like OG, but kind of like loose, kind of like, I don't know. I almost like, because I try to figure out what the ingredients to these are, and sometimes I don't 100% see it. Like, I feel like this is a little bit like, I feel like I see some like anime or like kind of graffiti, like an urban thing to it too, because I was into that when I was younger, and you can't ever really get rid of what you're into, and I think that's what makes it flow, because I've talked to this to with like David too, Acevedo, and because I like his stuff. And sometimes, like, I know he has like good ideas. Sometimes I think his stuff is a little tight too, but it's good, I like it a lot. It's just we all have our own unique thing that we try to do. I just like, my thing is I really just like flow. I don't like it to feel too constricted. Like, this is coming out much better than I was afraid it would be, because at first I was like, I don't know if it's coming out the way I want it to come out, but I'm seeing it now, and it is. And now I'm going in with this brown, which was the plan all along. And that's giving it the burn kind of thing I wanted it to have. Another thing I'll say about this guy is, don't over detail the burns or you'll fuck him up. He has to have like just a few. There are a few artists that have very unique style, which makes you stand you. You, Greg, GPK, Nick, Jasmine, Floyd, Man, Lowell. For those, I don't even need to see a name, just the art. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I think that's kind of true, especially like Floyd. He's got this kind of like rat fink thing you could see in all his stuff. Like, all his stuff has flow, but it like flows in kind of that like like beach caricature meets sort of like 60s hot rod kind of thing, and you see it in everything he draws. And Jasmine has like that kind of like cutesy thing, but it's also like very style sheet, And Lowell, I like his style because it's like very like what do you call it, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, but like chunky black, Like, I dig it a lot. Like, for a while, I used to be a little bit more like, everything should look style sheet. And I'm like, no, because style sheet is like GPK style sheet is post the Cabbage Patch Kids lawsuit. And then it just, like, looks like not, like, very, like, stiff, And I don't like stiff art, I just like that, you can find a lot of flavors in there, Like Mark Pingator, he's a friend of mine. Sometimes I think his stuff is a little more, like, he's a really good artist, and I like how he does his highlights and blends. But, I realize he does this on purpose. It's always the kind of like school photo thing with like the basic background. And that's just his thing. And I think he knows it works for him and that people dig it. So that's why he does it that way, And at first I used to be like, oh, it's like really basic. But, I think that's just kind of like he knows that works. And then I like Joe Simcoe. I like his stuff because it's always very dynamic. It's always like you know, even if sometimes I think the actual characters are a little stiff looking, the layouts are always really dynamic, you know? And that's what like I need to work on a little bit more, is doing a little bit more dynamic layouts too. So we all have things we need to work on, I think, or you know. You've seen Moana too much shiny. Now the actual claws in this card have like a gray thing going on in the blue highlight, and I'm not gonna do that. I think I don't know that I'm feeling that today. I'm just trying to decide if I need to do something like right here. That's the thing. One big thing for me is the textures and colors of items around the character for doing your own characters. Yeah. I think textures is a big thing for me. That's why I'm spending so much time on this guy and his skin, because he's all texture. Like, it doesn't work if there's not good texture going on. Like, honestly, I'm like considering not even like hitting this with a gray because I'm liking how it looks. I probably will right now, actually. Not a ton, actually. I'm probably not going to hit him with as much gray as I had planned to, because I feel like the Browns did a good enough job. So this is a warm gray number 4. This is a really dark gray. So we're just going to kind of like just do a little bit around the brim here. And I think, yeah, just like right there. So this has a chisel nib, which I like because then I can go really detailed right there. Alright, and then I'm gonna like end up doing like actually a lighter gray on him in the end. And see how I do those really sharp chisel lines? There's a point in my development as an artist where I would fucking never do that. That's something I feel like you have to have a little bit of confidence to get to that point where you just like fucking like just nail a chisel line super fast. Because if you fuck up, you're fucking up that drawing, man. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm sure we've all done it at one point. But then after a while, you just get confident, you let it go. Because a really nice sharp chisel line looks fucking dope. It's getting it's getting that point when you're confident enough in your artwork where if you know you're gonna where you're willing to be like, I might fuck this up, but if I do, I can always fix this in a different way. So this gray is actually almost dead, but what's good about those is it basically becomes a blender then. And I'm getting a really, really low dose gray, which is kind of helpful when you're working with something like this. So it gives me some blends, and I'm not killing it with a dark. I feel like this gray is probably more alive, and I'm right. So see, this one's more noticeable. Alright, I'm gonna go in the nose here a little bit. Alright, let's hit those teeth a little bit. This one just happens to be a light enough gray. Yeah, Jason, I know. Well, I'm gonna take care of you, bro. Don't even worry about it. Like this is one I'm fixing for somebody else, dude. Like, trust me, man. I'll take care of you. Just let me know what you want to do. Cause yeah, like it's so fucking fucked up. This is for Paul. He lost 2 cards too because of the whole fucking tops thing. You know, trust me. My whole thing with this is I'm making it up for everybody because tops fucked me and they're not all they can do is help me in the future, which is that really help in the future? You know, like okay, whatever, we'll hook you up in the future. It's like it's all right. You handle your problems now. Yeah. And trust me, guys, if you don't understand the scenario, like, people who like got these cards from me like had to like wait like almost 2 years and not get them. So it fucking pisses me off, makes me feel like an asshole, even though I wasn't responsible. All I did was listen to tops. Uh, what happened? Well, I said this at the beginning. Basically, the vacation returns I did are, for GPK goes on vacation. I sent the cards back according to my contract with Tops. And I think I emailed everyone who got a set or messaged them personally, got a card from me. But basically, Tops sent me an email. A few people, I sent them the email so they could see it. Tops destroyed my returns on accident. They didn't lose them. They didn't lose the cards. They destroyed them. I think that's the thing that's the hardest. Is that it's not like they said, we lost your returns. Maybe we'll find them. Specifically, they use the words destroyed, which means either it can mean anything. It can mean anything. Like they were put in a box and the box was smashed by a fucking forklift. It got shredded. I don't know. Either way, so all these people who got returns from me, I'm redoing their returns on my stock of other returns from other sets I've worked on, like Bookworms, Crashers, California Takeover, Valentine's. So it sucks. Yeah. I try not to think about it too much because it's really fucking shitty as fuck. So, and it's not like I knew about this for a long time. They just barely, like, was like a few days ago, sent me the email like, oh yeah, we can't. Oh no, the first one was, they sent me 3 emails about it. The first one, they tried to blame me, and they said I never even sent my vacation cards to them, which is bullshit. Like, they were like, oh, we never even got those cards from you. Like, why did you pay me for them? And, like, you go on eBay, and apparently there's vacation cards from me people pulled and are fucking eBaying, so they're making more off this set than I did. And then they're like, oh, well, you didn't send us your returns. I'm like, yeah, I did, dude. Yeah, I did. And then they're like, oh, well, maybe we'll find them. They might have gotten lost. And then they're like, finally, it was like in between moving warehouses, they were destroyed. And it's nobody's to blame. If anybody's to blame, it's the people who may... who were like, hey, Victor, fucking send your cards back or else you won't get on another set. Because at the time, there was a different director at Tops, and he was like, if you don't send us your cards back, because I hadn't sent my cards back for other sets. I'm trying to remember which one. Maybe it was like Battle of the... Yeah, that's why I haven't done pre-sale returns since then. I'm using all my returns that I sat on to fix this problem, and it sucks, and what's gonna... Hopefully there aren't people from like GPK News in here who will make a fucking bullshit story over this on their website, like, oh, Tops, like whatever. Like, they fucked me, they didn't fuck anybody else. This only happened to me. It's straight up bullshit, only happened to me. So I feel like an idiot. Because I know there were so many other people, because I know I refunded people during COVID when I had no money, And some of those people I put on my blacklist that like will never get a sketch from me again because they went out of their way to like, I want my thing back. I'm like, dude, what can I do? I can't do anything. We're in the middle of COVID, and I dipped into my savings to refund these people. I'm like, okay, so I told myself after that, I'm just not doing pre-sale returns unless it's somebody I really trust or somebody from like who watches the streams here or whatever. And I know and I was like, Tops is gonna hook me up when this is, I'll get the cards and it'll be like, see, you should have waited. And in the end, I was the one who kind of got hosed. But not just me, but the people who like trusted me to give them returns. And you know what? I know some people just can like, you know, f- be dicks about it and be like, oh well, buyer beware and all that shit. But my reputation matters to me. There is a real issue. All right, let me see. It's sad, honestly. I don't use the word lightly. I don't ever blame you. I blame me. Jason says, that sucks. I know how much of a headache vacation has been for you, especially on pre-sale returns up. Jason says, there is a real issue, though. The issue is not the problem. The people that did give you money for over 2 years, no interest. Yeah. And Paul says, yeah, I remember you saying that. That's the reason why I didn't want to refund work with you, and you did your part trying to make it right. Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to make it right. And like I said, I'll try to throw in stuff to besides the sketches to kind of make up for it. Like I said, it's not like Tops is gonna really help me on this thing because all they said is, oh, we'll give you more returns in the future. I'm like, well, you're gonna, regardless of whether you send me more cards or not, the next retail set, I'm keeping double the amount of my returns. And that means panos. So there you go. 100%, dude. Because I don't ever trust them to, like, make this right. I'm like, not in the way that I was. I'm like, it is what it is. I know. I'm angry too, guys. If you can't tell, I feel bad for everybody. I feel bad for me. You know, because it's like I held on to all these returns. Just because I remember I told my girlfriend, I'm like, dude, I don't know. I'm just gonna hang on to these. Worst comes to worst, I'll have a bunch of returns at some point. And no, I ended up being right that something happened. And it's difficult, because it's like you guys know this is what I do for a living. It's not like, hey, by the way, I also do like my movie events are also part of like my art, and it's all tied in together. So it's kind of like, I remember I'll try to work with you. Just know I needed that money, maybe and possibly more than you. I fell on real hard times, had to sell things. I need oxygen machine for my mom. Yeah, dude. Dude. I know, man. I know that you went through a lot of stuff, and I'm so sorry. And I will give you some stuff that you can sell to try to make up for it. Like I have I have like an extra sketch cover or two lying around. I'll probably give you one of those too. Just you know, I mean, you guys. I'm not rich, even though like I do a lot of cool stuff. It's only because I was smart enough at certain points in my life when I had money or like some degree of popularity to kind of leverage that into like getting into a position where I can get free shit to give away to other people, because I did this social media shit for so long. And it's like there's been times where just like, me giving away stuff for like a movie that came out is how like I fucking paid my rent. you know and I'm not trying to be like, I know we all have hard times, guys, and I feel bad, and I'm gonna do my best to make it up for everybody. If I known what this was gonna happen, I wouldn't have ever done a pre-sale of sketches. I wouldn't. And that's why I don't do pre-sales of sketches anymore. Like after vacation, I was like, you know what? It's not cool. What can you do? It's like it's you know, and to think like I had a lot of faith in Tops as a company, and in the end that ended up being something that like kind of ended up not being the best maybe barometer of things I should have done, and all I can do is try to make up for it, for something that my mistake was believing these people were gonna help me by or honor the terms of their contract. And like, if let me just put this into perspective. Somebody in one of the arts groups is like, you should take Tops to court. And I'm like, here's what I can tell you guys. I could take Tops to court for this little thing because it's a breach of contract. It would just cost me more to do that than I would ever get back from them. And that's why courts are set up to favor rich people in this country, and it's bullshit. And you're like, how do you know that? It's like, because I have a law degree. That's how I know that. A lawyer would tell me the exact same thing. To be fair, Jason, I'll try to work with you. I didn't expect to see a stream before you saw what I was going to say to you, so I'll say no more and just think a little further on it. Well, just let me know, man. This stream is making up a sketch for somebody. Like, this is for Paul. This one is for making up a sketch for him for what he missed out on. Because he had gone return from me and this as part of his deal. So what I'm trying to do is make up people's sketches and draw them live on stream. It's not trying to rub it in everybody's face. No, dude, I get it. I get that. So, I mean, I'll try. Like I said, I'm trying to make money. I'm doing an event this weekend. Hopefully, I'll make some more money there. And, I'll try to make it up to you then. Even if it's like I have to do if I have to do installments to pay you back and you want money, then that's cool. I can do that, So it's not me trying to like get out of doing refunds or whatever. I'm trying to make it all right. And like I said, it's kind of just sucks, It sucks for me. It sucks for you. And I get the situation involved. So yeah. I mean, and it's cool. If there's people who are angry with me about this scenario, then it's totally warranted. I mean, because, I get it. I vented at the wall. I don't want to see anyone hurting or see you hurting. But I have two people that don't fight for some. The guy that, I guess, yeah, I get it, dude. Trust me, my whole thing with this is I'm just trying to get to a point where I can get past where everyone gets what they have invested or want back. I want to either fill people's cards in quotas of what they wanted from me and make sure they have something cool. If not, I can refund and try to do my best to make that happen. And then get past this whole thing to where we can make new art and I don't ever have to think about the vacation set again. Paul says, I had a hard time deciding as well, but at the end of the day, I paid for art, wanted art. Victor offered a refund and other art options. This is how he makes his money. And that's how it is when you do art, I mean, it's important for me to have a good reputation. So if a refund is, how you'll feel better about this whole thing, Jason, then I will work with you to do a refund. Because I'd rather you have what you need to feel better about the whole thing than, anything else. Because ultimately, like, You know, this is how I make a living, and I want to be happy with people, you know. And somebody comes up and somebody messages you and says, hey, how's Victor to work with? He's like, well, that you could be like, hey, well, this happened and it was shitty, but Victor made it right, so that's literally all I'm looking to do, is make it right for everybody as best as I can, you know yeah, it would have been, dude. I know. Trust me, nobody's more pissed off at this than me, even if it doesn't sound like I am, you know, because I spent the better part of almost 2 years fucking waiting for these cards, you know. But I want you to be happy with whatever decision you make, man. Just, when you decide what you want to do, I'll work with you to try to make that happen as best as I can. And yeah, that's why I'm not ducking this. I went and talked to everybody straight up and be like, look, this is what happened. And Tops isn't going to help me out of this scenario. So I'm going to do my best to take care of it on my own, It didn't happen at the best time. I wish this had happened like even a year, like 6 months ago, and it would have been like everybody was like, here's your money back, you know? But it's cool because I'll make it right. So I don't duck from responsibility. Everybody chooses their own path and things. Because you know, I feel stupid for having believed Tops was going to take care of me, and that's an investment I won't make again, and that's why you don't see me offer pre-sales on commissions anymore. And I know a lot of people do that, and they didn't get fucked the way I did, and it kind of sucks that I took the fall for that, but I wish I hadn't listened in some ways. Yeah, just let me know. Yeah. Yeah, and that's what it is, dude. Like, I have a lot of sketch covers. I have my own stock of stuff. So the whole thing is, I can offer lots of things that, you know, the sketch is looking effing great, Victor. Oh, thanks, man. I know it's much better than some returns I've done, I can tell you that. My whole thing is, like I said, is like I just want to make it up to everybody and just be transparent about it. So that's why I'm more than willing to talk about it, and that's why I'm going on live to do these. That way you guys can have something to look back on, like, dude, I got this awesome sketch. Look, here's a video of me doing it, or of it being made. I'm not trying to fly through it. This is probably the most detailed drawing I've ever done of this character. I can tell you that right now. Again, like, I'm zooming in. If you zoom out, like, you see all the detail in the color. All right, I'm gonna give him a Freddy colored sweater, because I don't really like this green one. What camera are you using for the stream? It's an iPhone 11. That I keep my old iPhones and use them for cameras. All right, let me see. All right, so it's gonna be black. That's gonna be black. Black. All right. Let me see. All right, let's do the hat here. I'm gonna keep the hat black. Agreed. You know, I watch a ton of your live streams, and you're definitely spending a lot of time on the details. Definitely showing I love it. Are you streaming on the iPhone as well? I use my iPhone with NDI for streaming. The NDI options doesn't use the camera. Only yeah, this is so this iPhone, it's streaming off of my Wi-Fi right now. So basically, it's basically just like if I was doing a live stream, and it's just like, you know, just going off the iPhone. But I feel like it's. I hope you. Remember this when I use this as my everyday phone. I remember this had a really good camera. And you get a lot of detail. I mean, this is an iPhone 13 Pro Max, and it definitely has better cameras than this guy does. But I still get a lot. Sometimes I use this to stream and use this as the thing. But today I felt like using this one to stream, you know. I'm not super techie. Like I got a laptop, a new laptop when I started doing DCPs for my movie events. And that one has a built-in webcam. So I'm gonna try to do that thing where you see people on Twitch where there's like one camera where you see my face and the other one where you see me drawing. I just gotta like put some effort into getting that setup going. And this is the first time I've done any like real streaming in a long time. So hopefully we get there at some point, you know. I don't know if I'm there yet. Wanted to look something else up really quick. Yeah, my issue is trying to get the iPhone like that going to OBS in the computer. That's why I use NDI, but I have to use something else. Yeah. Like I said, I have friends who do this stuff, so I'll have to look into it, you know. But I feel like I have two spare iPhones like this. I have like this is an 11 Pro Max, and I also have I think is it a 12 or a 10? So I was gonna use both of those as cameras and have them like a dual stream thing, maybe. I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out, you know. See, my original idea was I wanted to get like a sign like this, Paul, but have it say Rue Elm, like Elm Street. But I don't know that I can fit it in here and make it look like I could do it small right here. Is that something you would be into? Just let me know and I'll like work it in there, because I don't really want to do the background unless like I was leaving that space right here to do it. Am I doing any web work? I checked out your website. No, I haven't done. I just work on my events right now, and those have been really time consuming. So I haven't done any web design stuff for a couple of years. People have asked, and I'm just like, I might end up doing it just because, you know, make things juggle. And I was always had a good time. Didn't have a difficult time getting like good clients, but I had a really bad client the last time I did a big project, and it kind of put me off of doing it for like a while. So it was just like, all I learned after that is if I ever do stuff for someone like famous, if you can fit, really was only worried about. Well, I figured that way they might go together, you know, but yeah, it's just a thought. I don't want to force it if it doesn't fit, you know. All right, let's finish this guy up, and then I know I haven't even touched the lighting yet. That's going to be a whole other thing. All right. All right, I'll see if I can make it fit. I've been, yeah, I don't know if anyone keeps up, but Wendy's just started accepting SHIB, a digital token I never buy. At some point, if you buy enough, you might get Wendy's for life if it booms up. Yeah, there's a couple things like Dogecoin. I could have gone in on that early, but I just thought it was like bullshit, and then it blew up. And then I was like, you never know what's gonna end up becoming one of these like digital currencies. Even like those wax GPK cards ended up being worth money. I was like, go figure. Like, or even the game stonks, like, like I didn't even think about that, when that was happening. I was like, no way, that sounds fake. I could have made some money there and I didn't, but you never know with this stuff where what's gonna take off. Just, yeah, I think that's my problem, is I've been a little risk averse. If I'd been a little less, maybe this whole thing wouldn't have happened in the first place with the tops thing. I think what pisses me off the most is when I sent these cards back, they were in a glass case wrapped in blue tape, saying exactly what they were. They never even had to open them. And they've sent me my stuff back like that before. This time, nope, they were destroyed. Fucking assholes. No, no. Just sorry, I'm venting too, man. What can you do? What can you do? The answer is not much. I'm like, it's like, what did they look like? Oh no, it didn't. It's I've sent it like that every time because otherwise they fuck with you. Feel free to vent. Nah, yeah. You can hear in the stammering how I'm trying to do a good job of being zen about this shit. But it's not easy. Cause it's not so much that I feel bad for me, it's just the whole it's shitty, dude. It's shitty. And I think I feel even worse because I remember like a year ago or something, one of the Tops artists who works for Tops said she was sending them back out and then it got delayed again or something. So at one point somebody did have them and they were gonna go back. And anyway, hindsight is 2020. Oh, I mean it's any number of things, dude. It's just, yeah. All I know is I learned a lesson. That I'm paying for. Clearly, I've had a few expensive lessons like this in my life. All you can do is fucking learn from it. Fucking eat shit and kind of try to. Anyone who works with it need a job. How does the muse with ideas for drawings get a job? Right. All I know is I get good ideas for tops all the time now, and I kind of just keep them to myself or do them as my own thing now, rather than like send them in and have someone else draw them poorly. Just kidding. That's one of the things that kind of sucks is if you pitch ideas to tops, sometimes they're like, "Oh, awesome," and then they end up having someone else do it in house, not you. All right. Okay, let's get some red going here. For those keeping track, I have been working on this now for an hour and a half. Usually, if you see my old streams, I usually knock these out in 30 minutes. So, I am taking my time to make sure this comes out rad. Yep, red jacket. So that's the better one. Alright. So I'm going to go in with a dark green here, but I am going to go over that in black afterward because of shadows. And we still got 8 people hanging in here with me. Thank you guys. Alright, let me do this here because I'm not going to go all the way green with this. Actually, let's just do it. Intersectionality of colors. Alright. Alright, now we're going to go in here with black. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. I'm getting the texture here. I've been watching the Boondocks a lot this week because I spent all day in bed sick on Monday. All I can think was like, I can't believe this show is on TV. I see the NFTs always sell first. Might need to look into those, Victor. Yeah. I wonder about that. Like, I remember 2 Feet was doing a lot of NFT shit a while back. I wonder if he made any money doing that stuff. Alright. So now we've got this in-between area here. We're just gonna go in gray here with this. Over here. Like, own one of your NFTs for a year and get. Yeah, I mean, it's difficult. I mean, we had a thing happen here in Arizona where, like, Funko did this thing where you buy an NFT and you could cash it in for a physical pop, but, like, the warehouse sold the physical pops attached to the NFTs. So that's kind of what I worry. It's like, what if you can't fulfill? Although, hell, this thing could be seen as, like you put money down for a non-fungible vacation card and Tops destroyed them, so I'm fulfilling them physically with my own assets. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I feel like there's something with the NFT and redeem it for something idea just hasn't been like perfected yet. And I'm sure I'll look back on this someday and be like, when somebody figures it out and be like, oh shit, because I'm sure it's obvious and I can't realize it because I'm not that guy, but the guy is out there, Who's the guy? I'm not the guy, but the guy is out there. trying to figure out this lightning thing right now. All right, and then we'll do... something like that. All right. All right, and then we're going to do a dark gray. Where's that gray at? Look at me. I'm fucking up my colors already. We got 12 people hanging out. Hey, 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 everybody. Yeah, so now I'm looking for a very specific... oh, here it is. Here's the gray I was looking for. All right. Looking awesome. I can't see any NFT. Maybe, yeah. It's, you know, I don't understand it per se, you know. And nothing holds its value over time that's tech related. It's kind of like a bubble. You have to get in and out at the right time, I think, maybe. All right. Now let me do this thing I was thinking of doing. So I want to make sure you guys can see it. All right, I'm gonna have to go in with a micron pen to do this. So I don't use these all the time, but you can see that as a really precise nib on it. All right, here we go. Just being quiet because I'm concentrating. All right, let's finish this guy off. see. No, I'll just do this. Just doing some background stuff. This is a 1, and then for this I was using 0.05. I mainly use a 1 most of the time. No, I haven't done much of the white. It's just something I started playing with. There we go. Did I forget anything? Oh, this tooth is yellow. Okay. All right. Jesus. All right. So 112 minutes, almost 2 hours on this card. Yeah, it came out pretty good. I'm actually pretty happy with that. So yeah, that's basically the level of detail I'm gonna put into all these returns that I owe people. Thanks, guys. Yeah, you saw that start to finish on here. Thanks, Eddie. So yeah, basically, I guess we're gonna be doing like one card per stream. I might have to start doing these earlier then. 6:30, yeah, almost 2 hours. It's not too bad. All right, yeah, I guess the next time I'll just like I'll draw out the drunken and then just like color him out and everything. Love watching you work. I missed it. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it. I do think the break probably didn't. This looks a lot better than some of the. I feel like I've improved a bit. Just maybe I needed some downtime. Cause yeah, this looks really good. This looks better than. Yeah, cause I draw a lot of atom bombs and shit. You kind of get your soul gets played out drawing like the popular characters. Yeah, thanks, JQ. I appreciate it. Like I said, yeah, well, you're gonna see them back with a vengeance right now. So yeah, I'll work on your other card on the next stream. I'll probably end up just doing this every day for a little while. I mean, I don't know. If I do it tomorrow, it'll be early. I actually have to, because I have this big event on Saturday that I actually have to make some VHS lamps for. It's another thing I make. So that's probably what I'm going to do right now once I finish this stream. Um, but yeah, just keep your eye open. I'm going to try to do them around 4:30 just till I get everybody's stuff made up for them, because I know I owe everybody these cards and I want to make sure everybody gets them and has a cool keepsake thing. Yeah, I keep looking at it. It's like it's very cool. I'm glad I thought of like whipping out the acrylic marker actually. That looks really cool. It makes it pop a little bit more. Maybe the next one I do, I'll outline the guy in white instead of the blue. That might be cooler. I don't know. We'll see. They'll let me play some ideas. I want to make sure you know, if there's cool experimentation and everything. But yeah, the Elm Street sign is done kind of like in the same style as New Orleans signs. The next one I do for him, it's gonna be like Boozing Bruce on a Bourbon Street sign. He'll probably have like beads, and there'll probably be like a parade crew hat in the background or something. I'll figure it out. I feel like I have an idea for it, so that's the whole point, is to make cool ideas happen here. So, and I did this on the real kid stock because it'll blend in well with the actual official card. So, yeah, he looks cool. Thanks, Bobby. Appreciate it. All right, appreciate everybody tuning in. Like I said, I don't know that I'll be on tomorrow. If I do, I'll be sure to like message everybody. But I don't know. Depending on how much energy I have, I might be on tomorrow. We'll see. For sure, I'll be on Monday though. So I'm actually gonna set that up right now, so I can't back out of it. So I'm just gonna set up live stream events. For as many days as I know I have opportunities right now. So just keep an eye out for those. Anyway, I hope you guys have a good night. Like I said, now you know the whole story of the vacation debacle. And you know, we'll work through this and get through to everybody and make sure everybody gets their stuff and a cool card out of it. Um, I think this was a good start. He's not an easy character, but I think he looks pretty dope. Um, yeah, thanks, Paul. I just want to make sure you're happy with everything, and everybody who has one coming from me is gonna get it. So, yeah, just stay tuned and keep your eyes open. More stuff to come, and I will talk to you all soon. Stay safe. God bless and all that, and I will talk to you all later. Peace out.